Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here on the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. Today we head to Atlanta Motor Speedway for the second time this season, and I think we're in for an interesting one. We are at a point in the calendar that I love so much here. Now the tracks aren't necessarily the greatest. We got Michigan coming up, Pocono, Richmond. Those can be kind of 50-50, but we're in that part of the schedule though where you're in that late playoff regular season push and things get so interesting with the dynamics of, a single tire failure can make or break someone's chances of making the playoffs, and it's so exciting. And obviously, we find ourselves right in the thick of the battle here in this Colleague Racing number 16 machine. But not only are we in the middle of the battle, but our other teammate that's full-time, Justin Haley, is not far out either. So it's been a heck of a season. Some news on Justin Haley I'm hearing coming in the next episode, actually, now, as I've been trying to prepare a team meeting for Colleague Racing in a video, and that's going to be coming in the next episode where we will, kind of get a team basis of where we're at, our future in potentially the 16 car, but also Justin Haley's future at Colleague Racing. So yeah, stay tuned. Next episode that will be coming here. Now, as you can see, Eric Almirola passing me there in practice, but we got faster every lap here in practice, which was nice to see. You got the action paint scheme here on the car. I'm going to start linking the painters that play a big role in this series down below in the description, actually, from Lation, Sanok as well. There you got Jarrett making that beautiful 16 Energizer scheme, D-Money, you name it. A bunch of people are playing awesome roles. Sanok has made some bangers. Lation actually has already made some schemes for next season, and so has Sanok as well, and D-Money. So I can't wait for you guys to see them. If you follow Lation on Twitter, I'm sure you've already seen a few. But nonetheless, we come through 3 and 4 here in our qualifying attempt. We are guaranteed to qualify last year in a 4-star car, so the expectation was P40. 30.733 puts us P40. So we will be starting dead last year, depending on if anybody gets sent to the back or not. But let's see the finishing order. Chase Elliott, of course, picking up his 3rd win of the season at Road America in dominant fashion after an impressive run, though, from Shane Van Gisbergen in his debut in the Cup Series. Got P2. Allmendinger there in P18, who disappointed a bit at the road course in the last one. Gibbs rounding out the top 10, but the front row, it's Logano and Buescher trying to rebound after his engine failure in Road America. Let's get ready to go racing.
Welcome NASCAR fans to Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're here for the second time this season as these drivers are set to tackle this 1.5-mile oval.
This track is so abusive on tires, Rick, so we will have to pay a lot of attention to that today.
And that means a wide open pit window, guys, which has proven to turn some races upside down this year.
And a wide open pit window also means more strategy, which opens the door for a shock winner today.
You might be wondering if there was any Xfinity or trucks. I didn't show it in this episode or last episode, so there was no trucks or Xfinity in the last weekend or this weekend, but they return in the next weekend, which is, if I'm not mistaken, New Hampshire, I think we're racing at. I can't even remember. But nonetheless, stories of the race. Austin Dillon crashed during qualifying, so he'll be starting at the back along with our part-time teammate there of AJ Allmendinger. Actually put on the wrong scheme for that 13. Cooper, another one who's played a huge role in the paintings as well, made a banger 13, and I put the wrong one on. So that'll be fixed here coming up. We, however, are ready to go racing, and now as we get underway for all these laps here in Atlanta, short stage 1, only 14 laps, we have another painter that's hopped on here. We have Martin Roberg, who sent me some paint schemes as well. You can see right in front of us, Riley Herbst in that Monster Energy number 15. So shout out to Martin. He's made a couple schemes you're going to see here in the next few episodes now. The 42 car, I'm not going to say Boyle who, but he's got a cool little driver lined up there for the 42 coming up here. Justin Allgaier, all I'm going to say, will not be in that car next episode. The 78 of BJ McLeod, actually back in the field here for the first time this season. That team's taken some time off. Coop actually whipped up that paint scheme there as well. So we continue, though, to the end of lap 1. 14 laps, I said, in stage 1, so you don't have a lot of time to get things done here. Christopher Mell out to an early lead. Didn't even start on the front row, but showing some pace, of course. I think he's got 6 stage wins on the season, more than anybody. Looking for his 7th right here if he can hang on. Now as we go up the inside of Austin Dillon, I was pretty cautious to start this race, and you can tell because by lap 4 I'm only up to P36, passing that 78 iRacing machine now. So we were starting to make some headway here up the inside of Austin Hill. We're going to pass him. You're also going to see another new car in the field here throughout the season. The 51 Cole Custer is going to be doing some races as well for Rick Ware Racing. He was in the field today. That's another paint scheme and car that Martin Broberg whipped up. Let me know what you guys think about having all these different drivers and whatnot do those part-time cars. I think it's fantastic, but if you like it, let me know down below. We cross the stripe there, going 3 wide here with Justin Allgaier as we head down towards turn 1. Now Stenhouse is going to get clear into the corner. We're going to get up the inside of that 47 Continental machine, and we should be able to complete the pass. Yes, we do clear on the exit of turn 2. We would get past Zane Smith, and then actually Austin Dillon, he would run me down, go around me on the outside, so he would complete the pass for P30. I would follow him up to his brother of Ty Dillon, and then as well try to follow him through up the inside of Corey LaJoie momentarily. These two teammates right now, of course, we know they're rebranding to the Andretti Autosport team next season, that 77 and the 7, as we continue on. 4 laps to go in stage 1. It took me a bit longer to clear the 77 than I anticipated, but sure enough, we would clear him through 1 and 2. So up into P30 as we close back up on the 7 of LaJoie. And actually, we're going to probably get an opportunity right here. Look at the run we get down this backstretch up the inside into turn 3. There we go. That's going to be P29. Bell continues to lead in, would just stay in the lead till the final lap of the stage. So we would drive away from the cars behind. Honestly, feel like we got a car better than P29. Just need a restart here to close up the field. The 20 of Christopher Bell wins his 7th stage of the season, more than anybody, as I was saying earlier. We're going to get P29 as 10th place, crosses the line to end stage number 1. So definitely more pace in the car, but I was going to let Stevie Speed know on some potential changes that I felt like we needed. I just need a bit more top end, so maybe put some grill tape on it as well, maybe some tire pressures.
Exactly what I was going to do. We'll get you some more pace.
Well, there you hear it. So we will be getting some grill tape, tire pressures, etc. Changes on the car. And you can see we're going to go up to 45% is what I would end up doing on the grill tape there. So we gain 1 spot over Austin Dillon in the pits now. So we'll be alongside Allmendinger. All of Colleague Racing is right here together. This is not the first time this season we have seen this. Sometimes when Colleague runs really good, we're all up in that top 10, top 15 together. And then we have days like this where we're P26, P27, and P28 together. Doesn't look as good. Christopher Bell, your stage 1 winner, leads down into 1. William Byron alongside him in that black and green Razor machine was P2, but he was already down towards the bottom part of the top 5 as he lost some ground right off the bat. Now, as we continue down this backstretch, Riley Herbst in the Monster Energy Ford Mustang up my inside as we head down into 3. Here comes Ty Dillon as well, going for the overtake. As you can see right there, Chase Elliott to the inside and to the lead goes the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet of Elliott now, as the crowd is surely going to roar in his home race here, and you can hear it in the background as we head down towards turn 1. So Elliott out in front here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Can he get that home win just like he did in 2022? Of course, you remember the big block he threw on the final lap in Atlanta against Corey LaJoie, which was a very controversial moment there, a very high debated moment as we clear Corey LaJoie, speaking of him. But now we would have a bit of a new problem as we went down this back straightaway. I noticed the car was kind of topping out, and watching to turn 3, it was slowing down because we're overheating. The temp light comes on. That is a problem, and that's an even larger problem. Alex Bowman's crash out of turn 4. Chastain involved. Truex big hits there. Suarez the big one. Cars are crashing everywhere as a caution flies here in Atlanta. A huge incident, and wow, that is going to be forcing us into the pit lane because we have to come in immediately and take some grill tape off. So that was what we would have to do. So we are going to go to the back of the grid. Alex Bowman, he's out of this race, obviously. That was a huge incident. That's probably the largest crash we've had this season, actually, now that I think of it. So we're going to get back underway, but you already know, because I hit a car under caution, we get the Heat 5 glitch where your car doesn't go on the restart. So Chase Elliott's still out in front. Now, there's a huge positive about what just happened. 2 cars pitted right there. Myself and that 62 on the right side. We're passing Cole Custer here. But that 62 and myself pitted. We can both make it to the end of the stage. There's not a single other car in this field that can make it. And we both have 4 fresh tires. And you can see the effect immediately. We are zooming through the field. Kyle Busch has passed the number 9 of Chase Elliott to take the lead, 2 wins on the season for that number 8 car. Of course, most recently in Gateway. Could today be the day for Kyle Busch to get win number 3 as we continue on? And I would get to the outside of Justin Allgaier, and actually would kind of get stuck here. We actually got forced 3 wide as we continued to battle with him in the 14 of Chase Briscoe. So I was absolutely flying on the inside, but once I went to the top, it was a completely different scenario. So I had to find a way to work myself back down to the inside, and I would at the expense of passing my teammate of Justin Haley there, putting him down to 29th place, and we continue on. Now the pit window was now open, and here comes everybody now getting ready to make their pit stops. You saw some cars there, Eric Jones in the 43 for Legacy Motor Club being one of them, his teammate right there in front of us. We would actually pass Allgaier, and everybody's starting to flood into the pit lane here in these final 10 laps of the stage. And look at this, we can make it to the end, so we can lap everybody here and then force them to take a wave around, so we'll also be leading for stage 3. But this has turned into a perfect case scenario with that big one striking. Kyle Busch pits from the lead. We will overtake him and, well, take over P1 here with 3 laps to go in stage number 2 as we come through to these final moments. Myself and Austin Hill, the only ones that can make it. We can both stay out here. 2 laps to go in the stage now, and as we head down towards turn 1, you see Kyle Busch exiting right there, and now the caution is gonna fly. That's a big caution, and I'll explain. We win stage number 2. That's surprisingly our 3rd stage win of the season, but this is big. Kyle Busch was not lapped. He was a few, meters from being lapped, but he did not get lapped at the time of the caution. So he is on the lead lap after completing his pit stop. Everybody is going to be stuck a lap down aside from the lucky dog of Corey LaJoie, no matter what, because he can stay out while myself and Austin Hill, we will pit. But everybody is going to be a lap down from 5th place on down. Look at this. This was the time of the caution. If I was just a car length ahead of Kyle Busch, it's a completely different scenario. Everybody's back on the lead lap and we're racing. But no, there's only 4 cars, on the lead lap here in stage 3. And this has turned into a golden opportunity for us not to necessarily win the race, because we can beat the 62 car. We can beat the 7 who got the lucky dog of Corey LaJoie. But Kyle Busch, his car is going to just be unbelievably faster than anybody else here that's on the lead lap, myself, Hill, and LaJoie. So Kyle Busch, as long as nothing goes catastrophically wrong as this 3rd and final stage is underway with 25 laps to go, he will win this race. There's no doubt about it. It's simply going to be impossible for him to lose unless he crashes, has an engine failure, etc. So he can do whatever he wants. He's going to win. So it's complete curveball. The race turned completely upside down in the best way possible. We are slow, but getting passed by all the fast cars. You see the cars going up in the distance there, taking off from us. But here I am battling with the 62 of Austin Hill for 2nd position here now. And this would turn into a lengthier battle than I expected here for sure with Hill. But we would continue to try and fight. Here goes Tyler Reddick to the outside. But yeah, I mean, everybody is a lap down aside from myself, Busch, Hill, and LaJoie. So what a weird race this has turned into now, with a caution and literal just a few meters changing everything. But it's a perfect case scenario. Like I said for myself, it's not a situation to win the race, but we are going to gain so many points and put ourselves that much further above the cut line unless something goes wrong for us here, as we have only 20 laps remaining in this race. But look at the difference between myself and Kyle Busch. That 8 car, almost a full straightaway head. He is full straightaway head at this point now as Harvick's going by. And I know we don't have a top 10 car, but obviously we just are benefiting greatly from that big one that struck earlier in stage 2 has completely changed the game. I am not going to complain, though, as you could imagine, as I'm having a great run here in 2nd place, actually getting passed by everything. Here goes Allmendinger up the inside. He'll overtake us. Bubba Wallace going through the 42 of Allgaier. Larson was actually looking at my right rear. He's going to force it 3 wide. He didn't have a lot of pace in this race from the looks of it now. Just hasn't been a great day for Larson as he continues his winless streak now. As you can see, Chastain is well in my mirror, going to my outside, but we were just holding on to this 2nd position here with any pretty, with no worries, I should say now. But look how far Kyle Busch was out in front. The pit window had now opened because we were getting a long green flag run, which is another worst case scenario for the rest of the pack that's trying to get some laps back. But Hamlin comes in, Suarez, Almirola, they're all coming in. So you can see myself just staying out of the way, letting these guys do their thing. Expecting, honestly, I would not be surprised if a caution comes out during the pit window. That happens quite often at a track like Atlanta. So I was waiting on that yellow to fly. You can see there goes the 22, the 1, someone else there, maybe Chris Buescher, had just pitted as well. Now as we have 10 laps to go, and there it is. The caution's out, and we're P2. We stay out to stretch the run, and so does Kyle Busch. There's only 2 cars on the lead lap at this point. It's the 77 of Ty Dillon who wrecked, so we're going to pit, but actually, a bunch of cars are going to be able to take the wave around, but there's another catch. So a bunch of drivers would end up finishing their pit stops and have the opportunity of taking a wave around. Only 20 cars on the 1 lap down, or I should say 18 cars 1 lap down, but they will move on to the lead lap. You see it right there. LaJoy, all the way down through Logano, they take the wave around. They're on the lead lap, but there's another catch. When they take the wave around, they have to go behind everybody else. So everybody else that's either 2 laps down or a lap down and still had to pit there is in front of those wave around cars. We are leading with Kyle Busch after winning the race out of the pit lane down into turn 1, and suddenly we have a chance, just like Road America late in the game, to win our way into the playoffs. Everybody that took the wave around is not close enough to even be a threat as we lead down this back straightaway. William Byron, not for position. We're focused on 1 car. That's the 8 of Kyle Busch. Blaney might be the only one that could get up here of the wave around, so we'll wait and see now. But Kyle Busch is behind his teammate. He's got the 42 in front of him as well. Perfect case scenario for myself. You see me actively looking back because I'm like, okay, now the goal is to block the A car for 5 laps and see what I can do. There goes the 42 to the outside as we head down into turn 1. 3 wide behind us. I'm looking in my mirror. Where's the 8 of Kyle Busch? I don't see him. There he is. He's 4 wide around the outside. I didn't even notice, and there he goes. What a move from Kyle Busch. 4 wide around the outside of lap cars. What a bold move, and that's going to get him his 3rd win of the year if it stays green. Unbelievable drive right there from the number 8 as we exit 4. P2 is what we end up in here now as Byron's going to get to my inside, and here comes the 12 of Blaney. This is for position right there, and behind him Chastain actually is in the mix, and so is Harrison Burton in the 21 in the top 5 as we head down into turn 1. 3 to go, and there's a big mistake clipping the apron. That's going to shoot us all the way up the track. We chase it, and I try to stay in it, and that makes the damage worse. We get into the outside wall. We're going to drop down to P5, maybe P6. No, these are all lap cars passing us for position. It's McDowell, Custer as well in P7. Cole Custer in his first Cup race of the year, running P7 after the absolute chaos final lap here in Atlanta. What a weird race this has turned into. I don't even know how to explain it. We drift up the track. Here goes the 17 of Buescher, 4 position, a bubble driver that we have to race hard, of course. Down this backstretch now, having to check up for the 67 of Kurt Busch as we head into 3. Kyle Busch in command. The caution flies. It's for the 12 of Blaney, who blew a tire in turn 3. You see the smoke up ahead. Kyle Busch wins his 3rd race of 2023. What a drive. Harrison Burton, McDowell, Buescher there in the top 5 with Chastain, Eric Jones, the top 10. So confusing what happened there, to say the least. What a race in just, like I said, the most confusing way possible, where we had, for the majority of it, 4 cars on the lead lap there towards the end. But now 3 drivers with 3 wins there. Bell, Elliott, Kyle Busch all getting their 3rd win within the last few episodes. We do benefit greatly from the wildness here, and we are 13th in the playoff grid and gaining points. But now we got New Hampshire coming up and some difficult tracks like Pocono on the way, Michigan on the way. So this, capitalization on a curveball here in Atlanta that got us a great result even after getting in the wall and losing some points there. We still gained like 20 some odd extra points. No, we gained like 30 because of the stage win in stage 2 because of that as well. So yeah, huge gains. That's going to wrap it up for me though. I'll see you guys in New Hampshire where we'll continue to watch this playoff battle develop in, as well as a regular season championship battle that we're going to pay close attention to. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.